I'm not religious no more, I'm off the cuff. Off to learn new things, I'm on a bus. Walking to my dreams in a tux. Everywhere I go is kingdom come. Dadgum, my inheritance so long that it caused conundrums. Wanna understand what I stand on. Yo, it's a brain blast, Jimmy Neutron, yeah. Don't need a mic to drop it, don't need the space to rock it. Don't gotta click the copy, I got it. They call me a pastor prophet, a prophet, I can't knock it, I can't stop it.
Ni hao, hola, namaste, guten tag, non full, xin chao, bonjour, hola, what's poppin', what's good? Hey, it's your boy AJ, part of the creators, you know what I'm saying? We're coming to you live with our new podcast, Out in the Desert. Anyway, so it's your boy AJ, part of the creators. Like I said, let me introduce my crew. We got Camille, we got Gabby, we got Seth and Coach Meech. And today our podcast is we're all about that life, that creative life. But why him? And what can I do for him? You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's start it off. Go ahead. What we got today, Coach Meech?
Hey y'all, what's up? So today's topic is why him. We decided to go with this topic as an opener because nowadays with everything that's going on in the community, which there is a lot going on, the question is why him? Why God? So we want to open up the floor to you all, to the team, just to kind of see where everybody's with. So Seth Music, why do you choose him in this season?
Well, like you said, there is plenty of things going on. I mean, it's not like I even have to waste time mentioning it, but we all know it's like COVID, protests, police brutality. I mean, live in Arizona, the freaking mountain is on fire. It's like everything, man. It's like lightning struck the freaking mountain. If anything, it's like obviously God is he's trying to get some people's attention. I would say he's trying to get everyone's attention. I saw this picture on social media that I thought was pretty interesting. And it was a picture of the devil basically mocking God, and Jesus was, the devil said, like, "Ha, look what I did. Like, now people can't have church." And then Jesus was like, "No, I put a church inside of every home." So now people are able to spend way more time with their family than they usually are. I mean, I know for me and Coach Me, we've been in the house way more than we normally are. So we're spending time with more family. But also we've been on Zoom, much like what we're doing right here, spending time with God and church, all kind of stuff. So the question is why him? Is because God allows a lot of things to go on. And so he's allowing this stuff to go on. So it's like if he's trying to get our attention, that's why him. So we got to see what's going on, what his thoughts are, what his heart is. So that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, there's a lot more to that, but yeah, if anyone else wants to jump in, that's kind of my take as of right now. But yeah.
So AJ, I got a question for you. Being an African American male who is actually taking care of his children and all of that, why do you choose him?
That's a good, interesting take for it. And honestly, for me, it was never him in my first choice. I recently chose him. In the beginning, I was more, growing up and my mom just raising me and my brothers, not having father around, no male really in my life. I pretty much had to find out how to be a man, better yet, a young black man in this world by myself, with really no role model to go through. So I always never had nothing to fall back on, nothing spiritually. My mom, she was a spiritual person, but because she had to work a lot, we really didn't have time to go to church and stuff like that. So it's pretty much more of me trying to figure out how to figure out how things go. And honestly, for me, I chose him because recently in my life, it's like things just was going bad. And I was like, every time I tried to do something on my own, things was going bad. And then I said, you know what, forget it. I give up. And I stopped doing stuff. Literally, I said, you know what, I give up. Started going to church, NDI, stuff like that. And like really just trying to find God. And when I finally just gave it to him, I said, you know what? They said just give it to him and he'll take care of you. I said, okay, I'll try it out. Like for real this time, not just saying I'm gonna do it, but then still on the back end do it myself, but really just give it to God. It's like my whole world did a 180. Um, from moving from getting evictions here, getting there, losing stuff, losing cars and all that. I literally say I haven't worried about bills or anything since way before COVID happened. I just said, you know what? I'm just let him take over. I just do what I'm supposed to do and just listen to him. I haven't been worried about anything. Money problems, I had no problems since then. It's like he finally started taking care of me because I started doing what I was supposed to do for him. Uh, Raising the kids, I didn't have no example what to do other than what my mom showed. So from a female standpoint, I know what to do when it comes to my kids. I have to take care of what's need to be done. But as a male standpoint, it's just I'm just going off the rip, and to do it in this environment right now, where it's any chance I can go out the door and get pulled over or something. Seeing a young black man in like a van or wherever, see me, I can get pulled over. God forbid something happen, and to have a son, Junior, just to be following my footsteps is just it changed your whole mindset on how I want to raise the kids. And I choose him because he's through the book that I really don't read. Just I have an app that gives me scripture day, but through the book, it like he has a son, Jesus, and it's like he's leading him through it, these passages, and I'm just trying to be in his footsteps where, okay, if I can't lead by example, at least show him what he can do. Because at the end of the day, I want my son to have a better life than what I have, and that I only got that example through him. Jesus was living a life, and he died so everybody else can have a better life than what he had. And so just stuff like that just speaks volumes to me. So that's why I choose him now, because I literally am testament of I choose him, things go good for me. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yo, that's dope. Thank you for sharing, AJ. Like, I really love to hear that. Just for everybody out there, like, if you're lacking motivation, there's all of us on this line. We all have different stories. The next person I want to hear from is Camille. But before we go to Camille, like I said, we all have different stories, and I just hope that each one of us are able to touch you in some way, shape, or form, because all of us have walked through our journey. We've all been in places where we didn't want to choose him, but we all, I think, have learned that he is the answer, point blank, period, dot. So, Camille, I'm going to throw it to you, girl. Why him?
And I'm going to catch it. Why not him, right? So, nevertheless.
Yes, catch it, girl, catch it.
Look, like Mishi said, like we've all walked through our walks, and there was times where I didn't even know God. I'm freshly in my own walk, and let me just tell you, when you belong and you actually follow, like, you're guided towards him, there's some breaking and changing that definitely happens when you choose him. I think about, let's just get really basic. Let's not just say, oh, for the believer themselves. Let's go for the unbeliever to just look at some things. So I know that there's people who said, why me? Why did I go through this? Why did I experience that? Why did I see that? Why didn't I die in my car accident? Why didn't I die when I got shot? Why did I not die when I got stabbed? What happened that you wanted to keep me around for the molestation? All of those type of things. And let me just say that that's one huge reason to choose him, is because you made it out, because there was protection. There's someone that saw you through those moments. There was someone that was looking after you and holding your hands in the dark time. And if you're in a dark time right now, because we've all been there, look, I know what it is to feel like, how did I get here? There's no hope. There's no way out. I lived, let's just say, like, I lived in a house where they grew they grew weed, and I was like, oh my God, like I can't live here. At any time something can happen to me, but by the grace of God, I was able to get out. I went from laying on a couch for 3 years and saying, God, I know this is not where you want me. This is not the end for me, to having my own place and being fully supplied when coming here. There's so many reasons why to choose God, but at the end of the day, there's something that we all are in need of and we're missing. And it may not dawn on you now, but when you get that unctioning in your spirit, when you feel like there's something, choose him, try him. And it's also asking God to seek me, oh God, you know what I'm saying? Search out my heart, remove any of the wicked ways. He's made me, honestly, he's made me a better forgiver. He's made me a better listener. He's made me a better server. So he's definitely came through in a clutch, let's just say that. So he's an all-knowing and all-doing God. And let's just say fear and dominion definitely is still settled with him. So it's at a time like this where it's needed, he's needed, we're needed together. I think that why not him?
Girl, come through with that clutch, though. Come through with the clutch. Okay, I see you, AJ. Hey.
Whoa.
Like, and got him. Nah, that was fire, though. Like, it's so real. Like, we don't realize those things. Like, especially, I like the part where you said, why me? It was like, why me? Like, why did this happen to me? Why did I have to go through this? Like, why do I always, and we always get in that place. We all get in that place where it's like, why is all these bad things happen to me? But it's like, for real, there's two things that's going on. Either God is trying to get you to seek him, or the other thing is he's trying to get you to seek him so he can get you the blessing that has been waiting for you. Because typically when bad things start happening, it's because there is a blessing right over that rainbow. You know what I mean? The rain always comes and then the rainbow show up. And at the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold. I still have to, have yet to find the gold in real life. But when it comes to the struggles I've been through, I found that pot of gold. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. So look, I'm just saying, God is good.
All the time.
And another thing is, when you have said that, I was thinking, oh, when you were saying, like, why me, why that? Why not you? Because if that's happening, just think of that. Everybody knows in your true self or your true heart is that if you're going through something, there's a reason why you're going through it. Because there's something in you that can reach out to other people that's going through the same thing, but they might not have the I don't want to say capacity, but the willpower to say that, the willpower to get through it, but you do. So he pushed you through certain things where, like, sometimes he will put you through something that that you shouldn't even be going through it, but you're like, okay, where did this come from? But okay, he gets you through it. You find a way to get through it, and the next thing you know, boom, you meet somebody who's going through it. You're like, okay, I got you. And then you're helping them because whoever he put in their life before wasn't getting the job done. So he said, you know what? Okay, I know how to fix that. Boom, throw it on you. You go do it, and you get the job done. Wherever struggles we go through, generally we're going through struggles to help somebody, the next person who's going to go through that struggle. Nobody struggles alone. Just to struggle. They're struggling to help the next person, because at the end of the day, even Jesus said we're meant to lead his people to him. So if you're going through something, that means you're getting ready for the next battalion that's going to come up. So that you're going to be the leader to help them to get to where they need to go. So you're going through struggles, training, basically is what it's called. That's what I call it, my struggles now. My new mind. All my struggles is just training for the next thing.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Look, so I love Gabby, because Gabby be cracking me up. She loves to listen to like some country songs, but there's this one song she listened to, and it's like, if you're going through hell, keep on moving. And then say something about like, because if you stop, then the devil, he'll know you're there. But if you keep moving, he ain't gonna know you there. And it's like, you ever thought about that?
That's
like,
good.
if I stop in the middle of my struggle, then the devil really gonna be able to attack me. But if I just keep moving through my struggle, he ain't even gonna know. And God, because God is covering me. So as long as I keep staying on that track that God has me on, I'm Gucci. Like, there ain't nothing I gotta worry about. So let's see. Gabby, you gonna hop in on this one for us?
Ooh, no, I mean, like, you guys summed it up, took it there. I was like, I'm just processing through all these examples and stuff. It's just so deep. It's just so deep. But I guess I could throw in why him. So mine is gonna be a super short answer. So I mean, don't get hurt, y'all. He's my default setting. All right. It's kind of like when you grow up, you learn how to crawl, you learn how to walk, and then now you walk. That's your default setting. So technically, right, when I was raised, when I was born, all I ever knew was God and Jesus. There's nothing else. So that's what I knew.
That's it.
Amen.
I
would.
That word default, I think is interesting because it's like, because most people, and especially in America, I mean, the whole world by this point, most people know or have heard about God, maybe in different ways, but we can even say most people have heard or know about Jesus by this point. Like he's pretty much worldwide at this moment. But it's like what one of the things I'm thinking about right now is that, so we're asking why him. So we're basically talking about why is God relevant in today's time, right? But then like the other question is like, why are we even asking why him? Because it's like, I know like one of the biggest things that I think is challenging for a lot of people today is that we're comparing everything that we've, as far as humanity from the beginning, has come to learn about God or think they know about God, and compare that with like science and like technology and all that kind of stuff. So for example, in the Bible, Jesus was talking to some people, and he was like, look, you can't tell where the wind comes and goes, just like the spirit. You can't tell where it comes to where it goes. But nowadays we had to have some equipment that can tell us where the wind is coming and going, right? Like that's the weatherman. So it's like, well, because of our technology, does that kind of debunk what Jesus was saying? Like, because now we can't, because of the power of technology. Same thing like this. We know that God is omnipresent. He's everywhere and anywhere at any given moment. I can grab my phone and talk to somebody in China right now. And I can look at y'all right there. I'm not even with y'all physically, but in a way, I'm kind of omnipresent in a way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now we know that we're not God, but technology and the advancement of humanity can make us feel like we are. And so that's kind of the deception of now. So there's some people out there who are like, yeah, back in the Bible days, like they would say that somebody was demon possessed, but all they really had was some type of unknown sickness. Like they didn't know what they actually had. So it's like, as we learn more and more about our earth and about our bodies and about technology, whatever, to a lot of people, it seems to make God not as important or really not as needed. You know what I mean? So it's like, why him today with all this technology and all that kind of stuff? And so the way I think about it is this, is that first of all, most of that stuff is deception. It's like, I might feel omnipresent, but there's a certain type of way that God reaches down to my inner soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because we
well, so pretty much what it is that God, when it comes to our omnipresence, if you want to say it, we have technology, but technology can't feel what you're feeling right now in this moment. Technology can't be there to comfort you when you need to be comforted, but God can be there and be feeling what you're feeling in that moment. He can be there to comfort you in that moment. And it's not just you that he's comforting, it's all of us on this line at the same time. And that's one thing that we cannot do with technology. Technology does not have the authority to say, oh, I'm going to hug you.
Yeah.
I wish this Google Nest would try and hug me, please.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, so in relevancy, I know it's a little off topic, but what I'm about to go to, like the Ten Commandments, I feel like that is relevant all day, every day, even with the flow of technology and everything like
Yeah.
that, that like, you shall not have other gods before you. Ding. All right. And that can be like TV or your shoes or Nike company. It's not just, what was it, her and all the Buddhist gods and all that stuff. So, that's, it's just not that, it's still relevant, you like, what is it? Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy, I don't even know which day the Sabbath day is, but I try to keep it as holy as possible. Let me see here. Honor your father and mother. Everybody got mommy and daddies, even if they your auntie, your uncle, your stepmama, your stepdaddy. In a sense, you got to honor the people who take care of you, even if they may be neglecting you in some way or form. Now, granted, that is hard, but you still got to do it. You shall not steal. By golly, talk about stealing up in here. Whew. I'm sorry, that just reminded me of something Chris Rock said when he was like, companies can steal your pension and don't get away with it, and then you steal a Big Mac with cheese, and you go into jail. So, so don't steal. You
Preach,
hopefully
Gabby,
you don't get to
preach.
jail. So you shall not covet. You shall not covet your neighbor's stuff. You shall not covet your neighbor's husband, even if it's husband on husband. All right, don't covet that. No, don't covet your neighbor's wife. Don't covet your neighbor's dog. Just don't do it. So it's all relevant. Don't covet your neighbor's iPad. All right, just don't do it.
That's
So
good.
there's the but yeah. That's where I see my relevancy.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gabby.
So that's where I see relevancy in today, and even with COVID, like, what was it, Moses? I mean, wait, was it Moses? Yeah, back in the book of Moses, they were throwing out plagues then. Now, granted, I have not seen anybody, put red on their door. What they did? If I remember. But right now, instead of putting red on their door, they putting face mask on their faces. They putting gloves on their hands. Lysol is all around, y'all, all around.
Better say that, girl.
All around, all around.
Look,
all right. And the ones who are coughing out in public with no face mask on, God bless you. All right, I'm out.
All right.
Look.
Hey, there ain't no book of Moses, by the way. That's the book of Exodus.
Moses is not the problem.
Also, the book of Moses.
Sorry, Moses was in there. Okay.
I was like,
OMG. Okay, so let me just tap on a little bit of what Seth has to say, and Gabby, I'm coming to you with you, okay? So what Seth had to say about literally how technology makes you feel like you are the God. But this is the thing, is that how they're relevant, because there's so many things that it's explained in the book that people choose to try to explain. Why does the sun hang the way that it hangs? The moon hangs the way it hangs, the stars. How does that all happen? Like, there's so many things that are still unexplainable by man and technology that only God had presented in the book itself. So when we say that, literally, we can shut it all down, because literally all nations will still have to bow, whether you call it Buddha, whether you call it Muhammad, whether you call it Allah, whether you call it Sensei, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's all going to still revert back to the one and only true God. And let's be real, this may offend someone. Now, come to Jesus, okay? Look,
go ahead, throw it out.
It's all pulled from the same thing. There's always a piece of God in every last one of these outside religions, whether they want to claim it or not. Get it? Like, I'm about that life, okay? Like, hey.
Keep it real, girl. Keep it real. Let's go there.
But I'm just saying in general, like, there's certain things that you'll never be able to explain. It's because spirit knows spirit, and you can never put that in a format. You can never put that in a formula. You can never conjure out a mathematical thing that's going to help you figure out what God has already done and predestined onto this earth. Gabby is right on point when she says the 10 Commandments will never die. These are things that are very relevant to now. And there's things, and it's all about whether you choose to follow them or not. And I think that it's also about morality. Like, yeah, they're commandments, but they're also moral values that people should stand on. We shouldn't want to lust after people's husbands and wives. We shouldn't want to put anything, let's say if you don't call it God, but we shouldn't want to put anything ahead of the universe, the sun, the trees. Like, we take it and we minimize it and call it we call it all of those things instead of what it really is, because we don't want to put a name to what's already been planted on the earth before everything else was established. Don't get me started, because at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay, so here, I'm gonna take those two things real quick. So Gabby brought up the law, right? And Camila, you brought up morals. These are two really important things, because if you take God out of the equation, there really is no law, and there really aren't any morals. And the reason why is this, and like this is where people get like all like shaky, because it's like, okay, so first of all, who gave us a law? Where'd it come from? It sure didn't come from us. For one, freaking Moses in the book of Moses had to climb up a mountain to go get some laws and some order from God. Now, when you take morals, more like, we didn't start off with morals. We didn't start off with law. We started off in a chaotic world. I mean, it's still chaotic now, but there was no like order for real. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and so when you take God out of the equation, what authority tells me what good and evil is? I would say this is like, that's because like a lot of people are like, but okay, so why was this such a bad, like, why was it so bad for Adam and Eve to come under the knowledge of good and evil? Because they couldn't handle it, for one. Because nowadays we're living in a world where everybody has their own ideas of what good and evil is.
Yep.
So if you do something crazy to me, and my mind is, or my personal morals or whatever is, okay, now I get to kill you. Well, I can't just do that because there's a law against that. But where that law come from? It came from, the judges, all like the government, whatever. So it's like, I was talking to a lady the other day, and I'm gonna be quiet to this, but I was talking to a lady the other day, basically about everything that we're talking about right now, like the relevancy of God. She was raised Catholic, and she was kind of struggling with her faith. She's like, I don't know, man. I feel there's so much more to God than we realize. Like, I really don't feel like he just belongs to the Catholics. And I was like, he don't just belong to the Christians either. She was like, okay, and she's like, okay, I haven't heard anyone say that. I agree, but she was talking to some of her church friends or whatever, and she gave the example of a really beautiful diamond. Now, a diamond has a lot of different angles. Like, if you turn it, then light beams out of it from different ways. Just like what you're talking about, Camille, like how different religions all have kind of a piece of truth. I would say there's truth everywhere. Even the devil tells the truth sometimes. Now, it's normally stuff with a lie, but there's truth in everything. And so if that's true, that tells us that God is a God of variety. That God is way more colorful, and he's not just black and white. Now, he is a God of order, like we're talking about. But the biggest thing that I know I was struggling with, and I promise the biggest thing that I was struggling with for years now, and I still kind of do, because it's kind of a scary thought, is that God, now in the Bible, it says that God is the same today, yesterday, and forevermore, right? But at the same time, he's also very progressive. He's changing all the time. Now, it's not, well, let me tell you about it. It's not so much that he's changing, but the methods are changing. The truth never changes, kind of like what Gabby was saying. But there's certain things that just don't change. But the methods change. For example, we're doing Zoom right now. There wasn't no Zoom freaking back in the Jesus days when he was on here. There was no Zoom. There was no method of this. So it's like, yeah, like technology doesn't erase God. It doesn't take away the power of God or nothing like that. But it is easy to get those mixed up. So.
Okay. All right, AJ looked like he got something to say. So go ahead and jump in there, my brother.
So with everything that was said, it's crazy when you think about it. When they try to, they say like, when people try to discredit God like he don't exist, it was like what you said perfectly is like, all right, so where did these laws come from? Like from what you saying on how we came created, we was cavemen and all of that, so we just evolved to talking. It's like we just came up with words out of nowhere. It's like, so when did all this happen? When did laws like from what you were saying how cavemen were? Oh, we was boom, boom, kill it. It's like we didn't have no kind of boundaries set. But when you look at how the Bible said how the world started, y'all was in y'all room. Sorry about that.
All right, y'all, we got the babies.
Oh, he's being a caveman right now.
Babies.
Hey, go on ahead, AJ.
But so it's like, but how when he explains it, they want to take what he said and then try to use what he said on how things happen to work to fix what they said and how the world was created or how we evolved and everything, but it still doesn't explain. Because if you're taking what he said and how the world was created, then why not explain everything? You put it with everything that you got if you're going to make it your own. And another thing is that they always, there's some people that try to use a different name for God where it's not God. Oh, I believe in fate, it's destiny, coincidence, and all that. But I was like, so you tell me all these coincidences, but they're like too many coincidences. I don't know what it is. You know what it is. You just don't want to say it because people don't want to. But nowadays, it almost seems like it's what's the word, taboo to be a Christian or to be religious or anything. You don't want to get marked. We're like, oh, he believes in stuff. No, he's not of the world. It's like being part of the world is more important than being true to yourself and what you believe in. It's like if we look back in the old days, way back then, where it's like everywhere people was believing in God or whatever they was believing in, there was no problem with it. It's almost like the new generations came out like, I'm too cool for that. It's like that whole I'm too cool for changed the whole world, and like nowadays you got people afraid to be themselves, afraid to express themselves the right way, so people can actually truth. It's like you don't know who somebody really is until a bad situation or something comes up or something happens and they reveal their true self, and then now all of a sudden you're like, whoa, where did this come from? Well, I've been like this. It's just you trying to. It's like nowadays people rather wear a mask and show their true face because they feel showing their true face will hide the fact that they chose God and He chose them. So they rather hide behind the mask of the world, so then they can blend in with everybody. But it's like you have the ability to blend in with everybody, but at the same time, with you blended in with everybody, you can still be that light. You can still be instead of being like, where's Waldo, where you trying to find him and things, why not be that one building? You're like, well, I know that. I can't find Waldo, but I see that. Like, you want to be that person. You don't want to be the person that blends in, because if you blend in, then everybody's the same. And if everybody's the same, what will be different? We literally, perfect example, what was that movie I was watching that pretty much everybody was exactly the same. There was nobody different. I think it was like it was some kind of Ready Player World, where like
Ready Player One.
Everybody curates their own different things.
That's like, where it's going.
We need to be that way in real life, where they created a character because they can't be themselves. They hide behind the fact of who they are. They can be their character in real life. So they rather be this person that they created than be that person in real life. And so with that, they're not showing off why God. And when you're not showing off why God, you get pushed back. Now, just some people might not be believing in God. It's so cool. I don't judge. I don't care. But you believe in something, and that something has a tie-in to what I believe in. You might think it's indifferent, but I know, and you know deep down that it's still connected. So we don't even have to address it as God. We can just address it. Period. Let's just address it. You don't want to put a name to it, fine. You don't have to put a name to it. But let's be real about it. That's the one thing that the world now, especially in the United States, that we have to do it. Now we have to be real about it. But the whole racism thing, oh no, we're not racist. Oh no. Okay. And now they get hit with it in the face. Oh my God, no. Oh, this is preposterous. What? This is going on in my country?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, really? Right. So that now they have to be real about it. And now that they're being real about it, you see people sweating like they're in Arizona. Like, oh, welcome. Like, oh, welcome. Yo. Now you see. And it's like now, what's crazy about it, this is the perfect time to choose God. Why him? Because now the United States was once this the American dream where we want to go. Now the whole world looking at the United States like, oh, y'all putting on this mask, and then somebody took the mask off, and everybody really are. And they were, oh, and now everybody, oh, no. Now that's them. No, that's us. We're one. We're all claiming one nation under God, right? So if we're gonna be one nation under God, we all gotta take this road. For my people, we been said, no, it's y'all plus us under God. We're not together. Mm-hmm. So if we was together, this would have been addressed. So this is the perfect time to say why God, because if it wasn't for him, we probably still be under this mask and we probably still be struggling with that. But now he's giving us a voice to speak out. This how I see it. COVID happened, so now we stuck home. So now we're stuck home, and this thing's happening out. And this recording thing is serious now. So now they're recording. People at home, they can't go to work, so they can't help but see the news. This circulating now. We ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody was going to work at that time. So now they stuck home, and now they have to watch this get played over and over on all the stuff they like to watch. And now it's hitting them in the face and say, okay, now we got to say something. I can't act like I didn't see it because I was busy working. Nah, he made sure ain't nobody was busy. He said, okay, I'm going to sit y'all down. I'm going to throw some COVID in there real quick. So we can let's mix this up. So then now he created, for me, I choose, the reason I say why God, because it's like, for me, for my people, he did this for us. That's how I see it. This is the opportunity for us to finally get our foot up, where we say, okay, he's on our side. He's been on our side, but now he helping us out because apparently people don't want to see him. So now he helping us out with where he making the other people. So that's what I'm getting from all this.
Can I present?
Oh, my bad, girl. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I just muted you by mistake, and I did it again.
Go ahead.
I was like, oh, but we are almost on that time, though.
Yeah.
Yes. But just presenting the questions. AJ highlighted a lot of great points. He said a lot of great things, and this is what I was just sitting here thinking: is how do we make God relevant in this current time? We take Issa G, which is my opinion, out of it, and we put exegees, which spells TRUE LOVE, true love across the board about what our God actually represents. So therefore, we make it relevant by staying true with what we currently know about the New Testament. saints, because none of us would make it in the old. Let's just keep it 100. Like,
Say it again.
none of us would make it in the old, but nevertheless, reminding ourselves that even outside of, there's people right now watching that will watch who are like, I don't believe in God, but I have these dreams. I don't believe in God, but I have these feelings. I hear these things. I know these things like to be so. I think that what happened is that the relevancy for God, even before this COVID matter, was already taken away in our time, is because was so many people who took the word of God and eisegesis it, made it what they wanted it to be, instead of the true and living word of God. And I think that is super, super major in this time, is that we have to go back to the truth. We have to go back to the foundation on which it is. Put God back in our schools. Put God back in our hospitals. Put God back in our jails. Put God back in, you know what I'm saying? Like, put God back on earth where he belongs. The Holy Spirit belongs. And there's us who, yes, we're believers, who we know that we have the ability to carry the torch, right? There's other people who don't know they have the ability to carry the torch, is because God hasn't called them forth, or they have chosen to be so against what is naturally them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's one of those things, is you have to love one person back at a time to make it relevant, because so many people have this stigma about being what Christians are. Christians are not dead. We do live. Christians are not, we shouldn't be judgmental, right? We're still God's children. If you take Christianity away from it, we're God's children. If you take the name away from it, you can't take the spirit away from it. So I think that there's a big gap there, is that because we have so many false prophets, we have so many people who falsely represent God, in a sense, right? Like, in a way that is so detrimental and to the original intent of what God's plan is in this new, you know what I'm saying? So, man, that's just my outtake on it, about how do we bring it back to relevancy. We bring it back to love. We bring it back to the truth. We bring it back to the bottom line, that there's no condemnation. We're hard enough on ourselves to believe that there's people preaching a gospel of hate and uncomfortability and self-hatred and all of those type of things. Like, putting hate in front of God's name is the first demolishing we need to do in order to keep him relevant in current times.
That's good. Yeah, no, that was great. One, I just want to thank everybody for you guys' participation. This was awesome information. And for all of you guys who are viewing, I really hope that you are taking something away from this. We're not doing this just because we want to have our faces seen on social media. We're doing this because we realize the importance of the relevancy of God and making sure that you understand the importance of God. We're not trying to convert you to Christianity. But what we do want to do is we want you to understand that God is not a God of religion. He is a God that is Alpha and Omega over everything. So those things that you don't realize, that, you know, you're like, oh, I don't, it's okay. Just know that there is a God. He loves you and he wants to see you prosper. You are his children, just like we are as well. So we just want to keep encouraging you. If you like this video, comment below. Definitely we want to have discussions about this too. Give us some shout outs, because no. But definitely comment. If you have any topics that you would love to hear us talk about, we also want to just do stuff that's going to be encouraging for you as well. And if you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in. We love you guys. And what y'all got to say before we walk away?
Issa Smoovement.
We about to end this thing. Hey.
So, all AJ is going to say is, this is creators, and welcome to the Smoovement. Ooh.
Oh,
ow! Hit the whoa. Look, stay encouraged, stay in love, stay in light, stay blessed, stay woke.
Music from the Google Play Music Library.
Hi, baby.
Oh, this she cute. Okay, Google, play Accelerator by Seth Music.
Okay, Accelerator by Seth Music. Here it is on Google
Yes.
Play.
And
This is
on
our
way,
brother.
we just got a little bit for you.
With their stunner like he's stone cold, then I raised from the tomb into some royalty that's rose gold. We got a heavy foot on the accelerator, going up. We got a heavy foot on the accelerator, going up. We came in with no reservation, came in with no hesitation, came in with no medication, but we left with all the validation in the room. Once I was done, we dropped the mic, then we dip like vroom, 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 vroom.